She combines athleticism, skill, drive, determination, beauty, and branding to make a true talented force in the world of combat sports and social media. This is Bellator MMA and Taekwondo Master Valerie Loureda. Thank you, Master Loureda. You're from Miami, living in South Florida, part of American Top Team in Bellator MMA. How good is life right now for a 22-year-old?
Oh my God, I'm so excited to even be in this position right now. I'm so honored and blessed that Bellator was able to put something like this together. But really, I'm just so excited. It's been a long time since I fought. I'm just excited to represent Miami and bring our first win home.
Bellator 243 is the big event coming up Friday, August 7th. And it will be from the Mohegan Sun Arena, and it will be shown, the main card, 10 p.m. on Paramount Network and DAZN. Valerie, you're featured in the prelims, and the prelims begin at 6:45 p.m., and that's going to be live on Bellator's YouTube channel and free Bellator mobile app. What can you tell us about Bellator 243 and your fight against Terror, the Tiny Terror, Graff?
Well, I am just so happy because it is in the Mohegan Sun, Connecticut, and this is where I debuted professionally with Bellator, and my fight with Kobe, Dreamcatcher Fletcher, I had knocked her out in the first round here. So being back here, I feel a very good vibration. I'm very happy. I have happy energy here. I know this place back and forth. I feel very comfortable, and I'm ready to repeat history, and I believe I'm going to go in there, and this is my debut place. I love it here, and I know that I'm going to go in there first round and perform the same way.
Valerie, when are you going? Are you in Connecticut, or when are you going to be going to Connecticut?
I'm in Connecticut already. I got here yesterday, and I'm in quarantine. So yesterday I was quarantined. All of today I'm quarantined, and hopefully by tomorrow I could go out and start cutting the rest of the weight and just get out of this room.
What has this process been like with COVID-19 and being in quarantine like that when you're getting ready for a fight and the whole training process?
Well, I received this fight like at around 3.5 week notice, so it's pretty soon. But throughout all the quarantine, I took that opportunity to be ready. I lost as much weight as I could to be closer to my weight class, to be ready as soon as Bellator started putting together events so I could be on one of the first cards. And, I've taken it into my hands to be professional and rise above the rest. And here in quarantine, I really used that time to heal my injuries from January and just become a better athlete and mentally prepare myself for this fight. So it's very different knowing that there's not going to be fans and this whole quarantine process, but I'm looking at it positively. I am a performer and I love the lights and the fans, but this is like a sparring session, and I've been doing this my whole life. So really, I'm just really relaxed. I'm not stressed at all. I only have 6 more pounds to lose, so I'm really close to my weight class, and I'm just really looking forward to just have fun in there and just do what I love.
How was the travel, and was it obviously travel by plane? How did that all go?
Yes, it was travel by plane, very calm. I decided to bring my sister with me as my corner, and she's here quarantining with me, and I needed at least one family member because usually my whole family comes, my mom, my little sister, my grandpa, everybody comes, but right now it's only my sister. But I told my mom, don't worry, Nadia and I will be back. We're going to get business done, and we'll be back soon on Saturday.
And yeah, I was going to ask you about who would be in your corner. Did they only allow a certain amount of people to be in your corner?
Yes, I believe I have 3 corners. I'm bringing one of my head striking coaches from American Top Team, Steve Bruno, King Mo, one of the legends with Bellator. He was working on me with my wrestling, and my sister will be here.
How has the COVID testing been going, and is it a daily process with that now?
Yes, it is. So as soon as we got here, we got tested. This morning we got tested again, and we can't leave the room until we receive the results. And then every morning after that, we have to go downstairs, get temperature checks, fill out a form. It's just very professional, and Bellator really is doing an amazing job at organizing this and keeping all of us safe.
Valerie, how are family and friends and everyone doing during this COVID-19 pandemic?
It's been very hard for us during this COVID. You know, we know a lot of people who were affected, but thankfully my family is safe. You know, my mom is a leukemia survivor, and we've been really careful with her and specifically receiving this COVID because her immune system is different than everyone else's. So really during quarantine, it's been my family together, my sister and I, not really going anywhere. My sister training on her own, me training on my own, but in very safe place, social distancing, and we've been very careful. And also, I wanted to be extra careful so that the time an opportunity was presented to fight, I would be ready and able to be there for Bellator.
What do you know about your opponent?
I don't know. I just know that I was supposed to fight her in January, but I had a torn MCL, and I was fighting a lot of adversity at the time and a lot of things with my family, and physically I wasn't prepared and mentally I wasn't prepared. It was a hard time for me, but I know I just needed 2-3 months to heal my body, heal my brain, and be here today. So I know she's been calling me out. I don't pay attention to that. Every girl is out for me, and I don't give them a time of day. I just focus on my training, what I'm gonna do. You know, they see me on social media and they judge me because they don't think I'm a real fighter, but that's my biggest weapon. You know, they come in here confident, they get smacked, and that's how I am.
How important is it for you to represent all facets of fighting and all facets of what you're trying to portray as a fighter and as a woman?
So I feel an immense responsibility and pressure to do this. You know, I feel like God gave me special talents from when I was little. You know, this is who I am, and I don't perform well and I don't fight well if I also don't do my other passions and show the world who I am outside of the cage, you know. And I know that I have a lot of girls and moms who look up to me because of that. A lot of moms who put their girls in self-defense classes and martial arts in order to kind of follow my footsteps. You know, I feel like being able to defend yourself is one of the biggest confidence boosters a woman could have, and I just think that it is my job to go into the cage and show everybody out there that you could be elegant, you could be girly, you could be beautiful, and you could still be a badass. And that is my message, you know, and I don't care who has an opinion on it. I don't care who tells me I shouldn't be doing TikToks and all this BS. Why, you know? Outside of the cage, I was a dancer my whole life. It's what I love, you know. One thing has nothing to do with another, and, you know, it just shows how you could be a woman and have so many other talents, but still be a fighter and a respectable fighter in the cage. And yes, I know I'm only 2-0 and I know I'm 22, but, you know, time will tell, and that's what I keep in my mind. I don't care about the comments. I don't care about any criticism anybody has to say, and I just shut them up with my performance.
And Valerie, yes, you are 22, but I mean, and this is going to be your third fight for Bellator and your third MMA fight, but you've been fighting your whole life with Taekwondo and training and being in combat sports.
Yes, so I feel like if I'm 34 in the sport, honestly, I feel super old because I've been doing this since while I was in my mom's womb. I've been doing this, and I don't think people understand the intensity and the way that my dad trained me when I was little. You know, I feel like I've been doing this my whole life, and yes, this MMA is different from Taekwondo, but I was raised as not a Olympic Taekwondo fighter, more of a traditional Taekwondo fighter. You know, my dad, since I was little, I was doing back-to-back grappling with boys and just self-defense, sweeps, etc. It's in my blood, you know, and yes, I got into MMA, and people thought it was too soon to debut in MMA because of the grounds, but they don't understand that I have a natural talent for this sport, and I'm just looking forward to proving it to the world.
Master Loureda, where do you call home these days? What city are you residing in? I know you're training in American Top Team in Coconut Creek.
Yes. So I lived in American Top Team by Coconut Creek for about 2 years. I was born and raised in Miami, and I decided to make the move to Coconut Creek for 2 years. But in February, I decided, you know what, I need to move back to Miami. I need to be around my culture, my Cubans, my coffee, my family, and I decided to make the move to Miami, and now I train every morning in American Top Team, Coconut Creek. I make the drive there, and at night I train at the Athletes Performance, where George also has his camp. So I have a very good system going on. I have amazing coaches around me who push me and make me better. And during quarantine, I really figured myself out and what works for me in my camp, and this is it.
And what was training like this time? Just because of the pandemic and what was going on there, did you have to change any routines or do anything differently as far as where to train and how to train?
Yeah, so for the most part, during quarantine, everything was closed. So I would stay active. I would do F45 with my sister, or I would shadow box on my own. I have a kicking bag. I would work like that on my own. I would go running miles around my neighborhood. But as soon as gym started to open again, then I started again my program with the freestyle, also George's camp, and that was my conditioning aspect. And so then when American Top Team started back up for people who had camps, I started going, and you know, it was different for me because I didn't have a lot of sparring partners. You know, I think last week was the first time I sparred a girl. All the people I sparred with were men, and I was working with what I had, but you know, it's how bad you want it. Nothing can stop you. You know, none of that matters. All that matters is your heart, the discipline, and the work ethic that you have.
You mentioned Coach Bruno, and then you also mentioned King Mo. What has American Top Team meant to you, and who have been some of the influential people there who have helped you?
Oh, so American Top Team is my home for the rest of my MMA career. You know, they received me as an amateur, allowed me to train with pros, and we have worked our way up to here. And you know, the attention they give me and the belief that they've given me is so honorable. You know, seeing all this high level stars in the sport really motivates me every day to be competitive with them and see where I stand in the sport. You know, for Joanna's camp, I helped her with every single sparring for that fight with Welly, and you know, I learned a lot about myself during that camp, a lot of confidence, and you know, that's something no one can take away from me. The experience that I've gotten just alone from being an American Top Team is just untouchable, and the coaches there and everybody, they're true professionals. They know what they're doing. I trust my career in their hands, and I know they're putting me in the right footsteps.
Yeah, what is it like there too, being around Amanda Nunes, Joanna, so many great men and women, but so many great female talent at American Top Team?
So I moved to American Top Team originally just because it's female talent. You know, I said, well, if I'm going to do MMA, I have to train with the best, and that's what I did. You know, I was waitressing, and I found a side job, and I paid a rent on the side while being a full-time college student, and I was able to make it happen and provide for myself to live up there for 2 years. So being up there, you know, I saw the way they would train. I saw their habits, what they would do, and if I wanted to be a champion, I had to copy and perform the same way, and now I have them as my close friends who mentor me and guide me and help me in anything I need. And you know, you get nervous before your fights, and just a lot of questions I have, they answer me, and you know, they believe in me, which gives me a lot of confidence in myself that I'm training with the best, so no girl fears to beat me.
Hey Valerie, you mentioned college. Have you finished college? Where were you attending, and what did you major in?
Okay, so I was a broadcast journalism major at FIU, okay, but last year from August to December, I filmed a reality show, so I had to put college just that semester on hold. So I'll be finishing this year, and I actually transferred to the University of Florida for my major of science in telecommunication and sports journalism.
that's awesome. And Valerie, what's cool about that, I know, especially in the MMA world, that there are current fighters and former fighters who are involved in the broadcasts. Is that something down the road you would like to do?
100%. I would do that right now. You know, that's my career. That's another passion I have, you know. But right now, my main focus is fighting. School for me is not hard. You know, I do it online. So I do it at my pace. So while I'm in the camp, you know, I know how to handle my school, my training. But the most important part for me right now is performing in that cage, because every single inch of my time, my thinking, my everyday habits goes into my fighting career. You know, people don't see this. This is very behind the scenes. I am psychotic in what I do, and I am on a mission to be the best and show the world who I am.
Well, thank you so much. We're going to wrap this up. A couple more questions. I do want to mention again that Bellator 243 will be airing live Friday, August 7th. It will be on Paramount Network and DAZN from the Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut. That will be the main card, and the prelims, which features Master Valerie Loureda, that will begin at 6:45 p.m. live on Bellator's YouTube channel and free Bellator mobile app. Master Loureda, will you be wearing the Taekwondo dobuk to the cage?
Of course. That's not even a question. Always, for the rest of my career, until Bellator permits me, I will be wearing that dobuk. That is my identity, and nobody can take that from me.
Do you still train in Taekwondo?
You know, my sister is an amazing Taekwondo fighter. She's actually fighting for Legion Taekwondo, and I'm very proud of her. So sometimes I train with her, but not as much as before. You know, it's just a base that I have. I think Taekwondo also has some bad habits when it comes to MMA, so I just kept the good habits, and that's what I use in the cage, and I practice it constantly, because if I do Taekwondo too much, you know, there's a lot of ways I could get taken down, or foot placements that I don't want to be doing in the cage and get used to again, because I've been doing that since I was little. It's my muscle memory, and it took a while for me to kind of change that muscle memory. But I play around with my sister whenever I can. You know, my dad still is an instructor, and my little sister also still does Taekwondo, so it's a family thing. I could never get out of it.
I know that MMA is a top priority, and Bellator 243 is the focus. But I'm also curious in this. Pro wrestling and MMA, you've seen some crossover between the worlds, whether it be Ronda Rousey, King Mo, who will be in your corner, Bobby Lashley, Shayna Baszler. I mean, there's so many, go on and on. Dan DeBeseverin, back in the day, Ken Shamrock. Were you ever into pro wrestling, watching, or is that even something that has crossed your mind that maybe down the road too, that may be another avenue to try?
Honestly, I didn't know much about pro wrestling before. So right now my priority is MMA, but after my martial arts career, I would love to go into Hollywood and entertainment. My acting and my broadcast degree, that is my focus. I believe outside of MMA, I have a lot of talent, and my dad was an actor, my dad was in a movie, Only the Strong. You know, I would love to branch out into that. Also, I've been a dancer my whole life. I would like to do some singing in Spanish. So there's a lot of different avenues that I want to go into after MMA. Right now, my focus is martial arts, and I would love to just branch out into Hollywood after my career.
Yeah, because it's interesting because, like I said, with King Mo being involved in it, and even Dan Lambert, Mr. American Top Team, has been on TV for pro wrestling and is a huge fan. I didn't know if you knew that about Mr. Lambert.
Yes.
All right. Well, Valerie, you're going to take us out. Just tell the fans what you want to tell them about Bellator 243 on Friday, August 7th, and I give you the floor to that.
I just want to say, guys, thank you so much for supporting me. As a Miami girl, I'm very honored to be one of the only female martial arts faces that has come out of Miami. And, you know, I'm Cuban, and I love my culture, and every day what motivates me is to be able to just be that face for Miami, show the world who we are and how thick our blood is. And I'm just really excited to go out there and give an amazing performance. Please, everybody, watch me. It means a lot to me. I'm from Our Lady of Lourdes, a private school, and I know I was born and raised there, and I just feel like I'm a hometown girl, and I need all the support I can. So I see how Miami supports Georgia, and I know they're supporting me the same way. We have the same camp, we have the same team, and I'm very honored to be that woman coming out of our culture. But just get ready to watch me. I'm crazy, and I'm fun, and I'm an entertainer. And now that there's no fans, I'll probably be crazier because I feel more comfortable. But it's gonna be fun. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Bellator, for this opportunity. I know there's a lot of people who haven't been able to fight, but I'm blessed to be one of them. And I look forward to my performance and looking forward to going back home.
And that's amazing. You mentioned Our Lady of Lourdes, and I know I wanted to give you the final plug, but it's so interesting because Jorge Masvidal went to St. Brendan's. You went to Our Lady of Lourdes. Both Catholic private schools, and look at you two now, tough fighters, doing your thing.
It's so funny because people don't notice that I'm a Catholic schoolgirl since I was 3 years old. But I've been in Taekwondo since I was a baby, so even when I was in St. Thomas the Apostle Catholic Church, I was fighting in US Opens, and the whole cafeteria would stop to wish me luck and to pray for me in my fights. And when I was indoors and I was fighting in the World Championship or different US Opens or competitions I would go to, they would give me a prayer in the morning announcing for my fight that day. And it's just, my life is crazy, I would walk around with a gallon of water all over school. All I would eat was tuna and apples, and I have a funny story, but I know one day the world will know it, and I just need to perform to just leave my name, and I know I was born for this. Something inside me is telling me it.
Two of the most famous people from Our Lady Lourdes Academy, Gloria Estefan and Master Loureda. Thank you, Master Loureda.
Yes, and I actually interviewed Gloria Estefan, in my broadcast class, because I started the broadcast journalism program for Lourdes.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yes. So my next fight, not this one, but my next one, I'll walk out to Gloria's Conga.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you for the bonus time, too. And all the best on Friday, August 7th with Bellator 243.